Imagine a man who makes children laugh, hosts neighborhood parties, and is respected in the community. But behind his smile, he hides a terrible secret. This is the story of John Wayne Gacy, known as the Killer Clown, a man whose crimes haunt Chicago to this day. To everyone who knew him, Gacy was a model citizen, a contractor, a father, and famously a clown who performed at parades and parties. But behind this facade, Gacy was hiding something dark. A troubled past, marred by an abusive father, had shaped him into a man who would soon inflict horror upon others. As a teenager, Gacy showed disturbing signs, though they went unnoticed. Driven by a need for control, he gravitated toward young, impressionable boys, a fixation he would later exploit to satisfy far darker urges. Gacy's first known victim. In January 1972, John Wayne Gacy encountered 16-year-old Timothy McCoy waiting alone at Chicago's Greyhound station. Gacy, looking friendly and offering warmth, invited Timothy to stay at his house for the night, and Timothy, trusting, accepted. The next morning, Gacy claimed he found McCoy standing in his bedroom doorway with a kitchen knife, supposedly preparing breakfast. What followed was a sudden and deadly struggle, ending with McCoy's last breaths as Gacy felt a strange, dark thrill, a feeling of power that he would seek out again. He buried McCoy's body in the crawl space under his house, beginning a horrifying ritual hidden from the world above. 2 years later, in 1974, Gacy's need for control struck again. His next victim, still unknown, was strangled and briefly left in a closet before being buried beneath the house next to McCoy. This time, Gacy placed a cloth in the victim's mouth, a detail showing his careful, chilling method. Gacy was perfecting his ritual, adding layers of control with each crime, all while still hiding behind the same friendly face his neighbors trusted. As his confidence grew, so did his cruelty. Gacy developed a routine, performing a handcuff trick that left his victims defenseless. He would torture them, taunt them, and finally strangle them. By the time he was caught, he had killed at least 33 young men, burying 26 of them under his own house. What drove Gacy to commit such atrocities? Experts believe his abusive childhood and desire for control warped him. He wore the mask of a friendly community figure, hiding a ruthless, obsessive predator. His need for power over his victims was relentless, fueling his monstrous actions. When police searched Gacy's home, they discovered a true house of horrors. The bodies of his victims lay buried in the crawl space, while he continued living above them. His home, once a place for laughter and gatherings, had become a tomb, hiding the darkness within. John Wayne Gacy's crimes are a haunting reminder of the monsters that can live among us. He was executed in 1994, but the memory of his horrific acts remains. It leaves us wondering, how well do we truly know the people around us? What darkness might be hiding behind even the most familiar faces? Thank you for watching. If you want to hear more true crime stories, follow us and tell us in the comments. Can such evil ever be truly understood?